didn't stay until the ending. You didn't promise me forever. You walked away like it was simple, like love was light as weather. But every room still knows your silence, every song still knows your part. You didn't stay in my life, but you stayed longer in my heart. I packed away the photographs, I changed the way I sleep. I told myself I'm moving on, but my heart didn't keep. Every memory feels familiar, like you never learned to leave. You didn't stay beside me, but you stayed inside of me. Time keeps moving like it should. The world forgets your name, but my heart loved you in the quiet parts when no one else could see, in conversations left unfinished, and words you saved for me. I loved you when the room went still, when laughter disappeared, when loving you felt invisible but sincere. You shine when the world was watching. I stood just out of frame. I learned your moods and moments before you said my name. I didn't need the spotlight or promises out loud. I loved you in the quiet parts, unproud. I didn't ask to be chosen, I didn't ask to be known. I only asked for honesty when we were alone. I loved you in the quiet parts, where truth doesn't pretend, where hearts speak softer languages only we could understand. I loved you in the quiet parts, when loving you felt small, but sometimes that's where real love lives, when no one's watching at all. I noticed every subtle shift, every pause you couldn't hide. I stayed when things felt complicated, when you pulled back inside. I learned to love without demand, without a reason why. I loved you when you needed space, more than replies. I didn't need a perfect story or proof that love was right. I needed truth in whispered moments late at night. I loved you in the quiet parts, when your guard was finally down, when the world felt overwhelming and silence was around. I loved you in the quiet parts, and maybe that's the truth, that love doesn't always speak the loudest to be true. I don't regret the loving, I regret the way I hid, believing love was meant to survive like this. I thought if I stayed gentle, if I never asked for more, you'd see me standing there at the door. If love was measured in attention, then maybe I was wrong, but love I gave was steady even when it wasn't strong. I loved you without conditions, without needing control. I loved you in the quiet parts of my soul. I don't need applause for loving, I don't need the past to change. I just needed you to meet me there in the same. I loved you in the quiet parts, and now I finally before the weight of words arrived, before every silence needed meaning, before we learned to hide. I remember how your eyes would soften when my name crossed your lips. We didn't know the ending yet, we were stronger than this. We talked for hours without armor, without fear of being wrong. We didn't measure every sentence, we just let it come along. I held your hand without hesitation, you leaned in without doubt. Love felt simple before we learned how to pull away. We didn't guard our hearts, we didn't brace for pain. We were brave without knowing what we'd lose someday. We were stronger before goodbye, before love learned to ache, before every moment carried the fear of what might break. We were stronger before goodbye, when hearts didn't hesitate. Sometimes love is at its truest just before it changes shape. Then questions started filling rooms that trust once filled alone. We learned how to overthink what we used to know. You grew quiet in familiar ways, I grew careful too. We didn't stop loving each other, we just stopped being true. I felt the distance growing in the spaces we ignored. We were still standing side by side, but not like before. We were stronger before goodbye, when loving felt like home, before every touch felt temporary, before we felt alone. We were stronger before goodbye, and that's the hardest part, knowing we didn't lose the love, we lost the heart. I don't wish we'd ended sooner, I don't wish we'd tried again. I just wish we'd stayed that version of us back then, when love didn't need defending, when hope didn't feel naive, when we believed in each other without needing to leave. If I could pause that moment right before the fall, I'd remind us how we felt before the walls. I'd tell us not to save ourselves at the cost of what was real, because love doesn't fade from feeling, it fades from fear. We weren't weak when we let go, we were tired of pretending, but I'll always remember us before the ending. We were stronger before goodbye, and I carry that with grace. hear your name in crowded places, in conversations passing by. It doesn't sound like what it used to, but it still knows me when I cry. I thought time would change the feeling, the distance would erase, but your name still knows my heartbeat in quiet ways. I've learned to answer to a different life, different arms, a different view. But sometimes when someone says your name, I feel closer to the truth. It's not longing, it's a recognition, like a memory that stays. Your name still knows the parts of me I gave away. I don't reach for what we were, I don't ask for us again, but something in that sound still understands. Your name still knows me like it always did. It knows my fears, my fragile heart, the things I hid. Your name still knows me even after time. Some loves don't fade to strangers, they just learn to stand aside. I don't say your name out loud anymore, I don't need to explain, but when I hear it in a song somewhere, it still calls my name. I don't wish for different endings, I don't replay the past, I just notice how your name still lasts. I thought forgetting meant healing, I thought moving on meant none, but some connections don't disappear, they just become. Your name still knows me in ways no one else does now. It remembers who I was before I learned how. Your name still knows me, and I let that be. Not every memory asks for more, some just want honesty. I've grown into someone gentler, stronger than before, but loving you left fingerprints I can't ignore. I don't carry them as weakness, I carry them as proof that I once loved deeply and true. If love is written in moments, then yours is written in me. Not as a wound, not as regret, just history. I don't need your voice to call me, I don't need you close again, but your name still knows the version of who I've been. And that's not something I'm ashamed of, or something I deny. It's just part of how I learned to say goodbye. Your name still knows me, and maybe that's okay. Some loves stay familiar even when they walk away. Your name still knows me, and I let it pass, because love doesn't need to return to last. Your name still knows me. didn't mean to love you forever. Started out so small, just passing nights and conversations, nothing serious at all. I told myself it was a moment, something easy, something light. I didn't know my heart was learning how to stay that night. I laughed when you said, don't get used to me, like love could be controlled. I thought feelings had an ending if you didn't let them grow. But somewhere between the ordinary and the way you said my name, my heart stopped keeping count of time and change. I thought love would come with warnings or ask before it stays, but love just happens quietly that way. I didn't mean to love you, I never planned that far. I thought love would pass like seasons, not leave a mark. I didn't mean to love you, but here we are. Some feelings don't ask permission, they just are. I started seeing you in futures I said I didn't believe. I caught myself saving pieces of you and me. I didn't rush, I didn't question, I didn't fight the truth. I let myself feel everything with you. I thought I noticed when it happened, the moment love turned real. But love doesn't announce itself, you feel. I didn't mean to love you forever, my heart didn't ask. It gave you all the parts of me I meant to pack. I didn't mean to love you forever, maybe that's okay. Some loves are meant to linger, not fade. I don't regret the depths I reached, I don't regret the fall. I regret pretending love was something I could call. I learned that hearts don't follow plans, they don't obey the mind. They choose the moments that feel true and stay behind. If loving you forever was a mistake I made, it's one I choose again without delay. Because being changed by love is not a loss, it's proof I lived honestly at cost. I didn't lose myself in loving, I found out who I am. I learned that some connections outlast plans. I didn't mean to love you forever, but forever found its way into the quiet corners of my heart to stay. I didn't mean to love you forever, but now I understand. Some loves don't end when they're over, they expand. I didn't mean to, but I did, and I still do. rushed into the fire. We let the feeling take its time. Every touch was slow and careful. Every word fell into line. I thought gentleman forever. I thought slow was always safe. I didn't know the quiet kind could ache. We learned each other in small moments. Late night talks, unfinished dreams. I felt closer every heartbeat. You felt closer to leaving. tears with pain. I won't call it love again if it stays the same. If love is meant to grow with truth, then I'll stay still. I bent myself into understanding. You never will. I learned that slow doesn't always mean it's meant to last. Sometimes it just means the ending takes longer to pass. I don't fear deep feelings anymore. I fear shallow stays. I want a love that walks with me, not fades. Slow love, deep scars, but I survived. I didn't lose my tenderness. I kept my pride. Slow love, deep scars, still taught me who I am. I won't love slower just to stay. I'll love where I stand. Slow love, deep scars. I heal and move on. I told myself I'd never do it, never hand my heart away. I learned from all the broken endings. I learned how not to stay. But then you looked at me like shelter, like I didn't have to pretend. And I decided just this once I'd let my guard descend. I let you see my tired questions, the doubts I couldn't say. I let you in on quiet nights when I was breaking anyway. You didn't promise you'd protect me, you didn't swear you'd stay, but you felt like the safest place I knew that day. I didn't need to be rescued, I just needed somewhere real, a place where I could finally feel. I let you be my last safe place, the one I trusted most. I rested my whole heart on you and hoped. I let you be my last safe place, and now I understand. When that place disappears, you learn to stand. I stopped building walls around me, I stopped running from the truth. I believed that loving deeply would pull us through. I thought safety meant commitment, I thought warmth would never leave. I didn't know the place I trusted could release me. I gave you what I was protecting, I gave you what I'd saved. I didn't know the cost of letting someone stay. I let you be my last safe place, where my fears could rest. I didn't hide my weaknesses, I gave my If safety comes from choosing, and choosing must be mutual, then love that stands on one heart isn't beautiful. I won't beg to be protected, I won't shrink to stay. I'll be my own safe place now. Either way, you didn't mean to leave me unsafe. You were learning to, but I won't place my shelter in someone new. I let you be my last safe place, and I survived the fall. I didn't break when it disappeared. I learned to stand tall. I let you be my last safe place, and now I finally see the safest place I ever had is me. The safe place. Now I know I'm still here on my own. I told myself I'd never do it, never hand my heart away. I learned from all the broken endings, I learned how not to stay. But then you looked at me like shelter, like I didn't have to pretend. And I decided just this once I'd let my guard descend. I let you see my tired questions, the doubts I couldn't say. I let you in on quiet nights when I was breaking anyway. You didn't promise you'd protect me, you didn't swear you'd stay, but you felt like the safest place I knew that day. I didn't need to be rescued, I just needed somewhere real, a place where I could finally feel. I let you be my last safe place, the one I trusted most. I rested my whole heart on you and hoped. I let you be my last safe place, and now I understand. When that place disappears, you learn to stand. I stopped building walls around me, I stopped running from the truth. I believed that loving deeply would pull us through. I thought safety meant commitment, I thought warmth would never leave. I didn't know the place I trusted could release me. I gave you what I was protecting, I gave you what I'd saved. I didn't know the cost of letting someone stay. I let you be my last safe place, where my choosing must be mutual, then love that stands on one heart isn't beautiful. I won't beg to be protected, I won't shrink to stay. I'll be my own safe place now. Either way, you didn't mean to leave me unsafe. You were learning too. But I won't place my shelter in someone new. I let you be my last safe place, and I survived the fall. I didn't break when it disappeared. I learned to stand tall. I let you be my last safe place, and now I finally see the safest place I ever had is me. Last safe place. Now I know I'm still here.